Hello and welcome to my awesome health journey. I am Brett Dupree, and this is another one about my brain. This actually started because of my ankle, though. My ankle was hurt, and yesterday I had hippie dancing to go to, as I like to call it. There's something called the Bloom Festival that's like a once-a-month thing at Om Culture in Seattle, where it's basically a static dance with people doing art and a couple of vendors doing stuff, and it's pretty fun. I enjoy, meeting the people there, talking, and like I enjoy those type of people. I mean, I've been in that kind of space for a long time, even though I'm not, super law of attraction slash into personal growth like I used to be, which is very prevalent in that circle. But anyways, this is something I do enjoy to do and have a good time. But a lot of times I go there to kind of push my own personal boundaries on touch, being around people dancing, especially attractive women, and not getting in my headspace, and just dealing with, especially with me working on coming out of my shell. Another, like I did many years ago, but now through going through the things I went through with losing the Lightworker Toastmasters, going through that breakup, COVID, having my mind really open to the state of the world and how it is, especially through like anti-Semitism and racism and how ingrained that is in personal growth, um, space and spiritual space. That really caused me to let go of who I was and kind of like reconceptualize and just kind of rethink about what I want out of life, and pretty much feeling like I had a goal, vision, what I want to see in the future, and then losing it all in a couple of years and just be feeling aimless and formless and like you know. Well, anyway, my ankle's hurt, and I already paid for the ticket because I paid for it when my ankle wasn't hurt. They sell like a month out, like a couple days. They'll be selling out like cheaper tickets for their next one. It's a smart business model. You sell a bunch of cheap tickets, and then when those sell out, you sell more expensive. To make sure people show up, because this is an event that is very dependent on people being there, because the people is what makes it special, not that's the event itself. But I already paid. My ankle hurt, and I thought, well, it's not gonna be a good night for me to go out dancing and like feeling myself and like trying to work on my boundaries and how I feel, and trying to push myself that way. So I thought to myself, what can I do to make this event worth it and enjoyable to myself? And my thought is, well, what if you just work on just being, just being there, enjoying the energy? That's something I used to do a lot back in the day. I mean, I loved group meditation because I just love the energy of the people around me. I get fed off of group events where people are having a good time. And yesterday, when I was there, I noticed that that's something that I haven't really been doing lately. I haven't really been doing the enjoyment of the people around me and feeling that energy, especially at these festival little dances that I've been going to. I haven't really been doing that, and I just noticed that I've been very internally focused lately, extremely internally focused, almost to, I'm not going to say to a narcissistic behavior, but to a situation where I'm like stuck in my head all the time, constantly analyzing how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, and a lot of that's been very valid. Going through what I went through, actually, to the point where I was feeling depressed, I was feeling sad, I was feeling, not happy, and going through a lot, having to deal with the breakup, having to deal with my feelings through COVID, feeling my feelings of losing the thing that I loved so much, which was the Lightworker Toastmasters, becoming super, super fat, and dealing with all the crap that went through my body, becoming diabetic, and going through all those things, of course, going internally and just working on my emotions and working on my thought processes, and really not trying to work on leaving that state of depression that I was through my nutritionist, through my therapist, and my psyche friend, through all of the other things that I do on my own through just thought and meditation and stuff. That it makes sense that I was very internally focused, but at the same time, I'm most happy when I'm more externally focused and just being who I am and not just being in my head all the time. Yes, I'm always going to be in my head a little bit. Of course, like yesterday, I was being and talking about and thinking in my head, how well am I being at this moment? And that's going to happen. That's just how I work. I'm not trying to not be me. But at the same time, I need to not always focus on me, and like when I'm having conversations with people, which just happened yesterday, people talking to me, and it's just interesting. I'm like, there's this idea that like the universe is out there, and when you attract what you need, and this is yesterday. I had like the third conversation with somebody in the last year, where someone was going through something kind of similarly, or like last year when I went to that spiritual speed dating thing, that lady, our conversation was kind of on what I was going through at that time. And then at my friend's, her dance Shiva temple that put on, the girlfriend of the main speaker, I had to talk with her just out of nowhere. I don't know, or no, we just, I had talked to someone, I talked to randomly, I was talking about what I was going through, especially, trying to pick up the pieces of having a dream and then not having a dream. It was pretty much, if you saw those videos, it was around that time. She was going through the same thing, and then yesterday somebody talked to me out of the blue, just started a conversation about how he was really into this stuff in the past and now, but like things happened that were just, that like this ecstatic dance community a long time ago had this like consent issue where like this, especially this one dude who just was like, very popular and just took advantage of his popularity and his magnanimous personality, and like took advantage of people and the fallout from that and how that dispersed. And now he moved away, and now he's back in that, and he's just feeling how like, now that he's back, things aren't the same, but where can he go from here? And like, yeah, that's kind of what I've been thinking about lately, how I really like that space. I really like who I was. I liked a lot of aspects of who I was before I lost all that. And I was really thinking about last night and lately, not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, in the sense of like, I've talked about, bringing back really working on bringing back the qualities of who I was when I created Lightworker Toastmasters, and bringing back a lot of the qualities that I was when I believed in the magic and the law of attraction and all that stuff, which, a lot of people thinking, what happened was the law of attraction, but I think a lot of that is just main character syndrome, this idea that we are the center. I mean, we are the center of our own universes. I'm the most important person in my life because I'm me and everything. But the idea that everything's working out for me, that's just a form of like spiritual narcissism. I mean, that's a lot of what the law of attraction is, if you think about it. But at the same time, though, the coincidences happen, and, I do believe we put out some sort of physical energy, because you just get feels of people, and our brains are so good at finding like little things that people are doing that you don't recognize, and that's like the energy. And maybe there is something out there for it, but I just know it's not for me. It's just I was open to that energy, and the energy was there, and he had that same energy, and we started that conversation. It didn't need to be some big universal force existing to bring me to that moment. It just happened to be like, things happen, and it's awesome that it did. So I guess my point is, as I try to finish this in under a minute, is that I am really working on being more focused on being and just enjoying life for what it is. And not so much, yes, I want to still be in my head. I still want to work on myself. I still want to work on my emotional availability. I still want to like look at things and like see I want to improve certain aspects. But at the same time, I don't want to make that all my focus, so I'm not enjoying the moment. I'm not enjoying where I am. I'm not enjoying who I'm being. Like the same thing with eating and intuitive eating where I'm enjoying my food, but I don't want it to focus so much on enjoying my food that I'm not actually enjoying my food. So yeah, so it's not that different from that. And since I have 15 seconds left, because I want all my videos to be under 10 minutes, thank you for listening to this. I love you for who you are, and you are worthy.